Brightest blessings, everyone. In today's video, I will show you how I make a working candle and explain the traditional witch's bottle.
That I was working on is my candle for working purposes. So before I even do the spell, I need to make this candle. And I'm just using a screwdriver to puncture 4 holes like the cross around the wick. And I'm just gonna sprinkle on top some things that I think just have motivative energy. So just gonna mix a little bit of this. I'm using my iPhone, so hopefully I have enough for this video. But this is just some rosemary. It's protective, and it also just calls in the aid of the spirits. So I'm going to put that on top of my candle. In addition, I'm going to put a little mistletoe, because I just mostly plan to just burn this candle for purposes when I'm doing work, entrepreneurial endeavors, other work that I have to do. So mistletoe is good for drawing that prosperity and good business. Just grinding it all clockwise. Gonna add some of that mistletoe on top, crumble it as well. Okay, there's one other thing I want to add. One second. Okay, and that is some cinnamon for prosperity. Just having that nice energy that cinnamon brings. Just sprinkle some of this on top of the candle. Okay, so you do this, it's on there. I'm kind of just going to shake it around. And as you see, it's starting to disappear because it's going into the holes, which is exactly what I want, because I am anointing this candle. Okay. You don't want too much stuff at the top, because then it gets hard for the candle to burn. So look at this candle now. Everything I put in there is down in the holes. Okay. So, in addition, I'm going to add some glitter. This is a gold glitter. Yeah, okay, that looks lovely. I don't really care for this to go in the holes, it doesn't matter. But why not? Because it'll go deep down in the candle. Okay, still got time. All right. think we're going to stick with the glow, the gold being, you know, success, money. All right. So lastly, I'm going to put some nice protective properties and anointing properties with some olive oil on top of that candle as well. Ooh, it's really good with the glitter. So, and then we have my working candle. I will say a prayer over it. Usually I also like make a marking on the outside of the glass, like a pentacle or something, but I don't have it right now, the marker for that. So I'm just gonna say a prayer over it, and just, you want to bring these things to me, just success and the work that I'm doing, and it's the color yellow to inspire, for inspiration and intellect. So just whisper these things. Okay, so now I'm going to light this. All right. Before I did this, I did clean the candle with Yerba Santa smudge stick. All right, so now I have this gorgeous candle burning, and I'll burn it for this working, and I will also burn it for other workings. And just when I'm studying, anything I'm doing that requires work, I'm gonna burn that candle, and when that's done, I'll replace it. And I love having that energy of fire, just invigorating energy when I'm home and working, and having a candle that's dedicated specifically for that is really good. Okay, so I'm gonna clean my hands a bit with this Florida water. I was out last night until like 3 in the morning, meeting people, doing karaoke and whatnot. I came home and I was like, today is going to be a lazy day. What better time to take care of some spell work? Yes. Love this stuff. This is the blue one. Smells really good. I like both of them. But I like this version too. Florida water. Alrighty, next one. So we're gonna move the glitter out the way because I don't need the glitter anymore. Alright. So, I took some notes here. Basically, we're gonna make a witch's bottle, and I've wanted to do this for the longest. I'll show you the bottle I'm using. So, this is a pentacle necklace that I've used in my magic and in my workings, and I'm no longer using it as a jewelry piece to wear, because as magical jewelry, because I bought it at Pagan Pride Day, and the vendors had it as all sterling silver. Purchased it, it was like $40 something, and I believe only the pentacle is sterling silver. The rest of it is not, because it's turned, as you can clearly see. So a bit of false advertising there. So now, you know, what I'm using it for is it's going to be a pentacle of protection on this witch's bottle that I'm making, and it's great because it carries all that energy from every ritual that I've done wearing this, my energy as well for me wearing it, and adorns the bottle, and it just looks really, really pretty. Okay, you can come up with something like that, just creative ways to decorate your witch's bottle. And this is the bottle I'm using. It's this bottle I purchased from Deals, and it's a corked bottle. You can have a corked bottle, you can have one with a lid, doesn't matter. Okay, trying to get the plastic off the cork. I'll just do that a little later, but this is it. Okay, so witch's bottle. When you do the spell, you want to think about where you're going to put your witch's bottle. You can bury the bottle in your backyard if you want it near the home, or bury it away from the home. You can also bury it at the base of a plant. Kind of just depending on what your purpose of the witch's bottle is. Do you want to bury it somewhere where there's lush growing life and things are that growth energy is there, and you want your bottle to come in contact? You want to bury it where maybe there's not a lot of growth and the land is barren because you want things to go away. So it kind of just depends on what you're looking for. You can place it inside the home, kind of as a decorative item, or you can place it away in a cupboard or something like that, as most people do. It really, like I said, it depends on the intent and the purpose of the bottle. Okay, so excuse me, my asthma is acting up. But the bottle is intended to be one that protects the maker, often also the maker's home and family from negative energy. So to this effect, you want to add personal items of everyone to be included in the protection spell to the bottle, even pets. So that's what I've done, gathered anyway. So I've gathered things like my cat's whiskers, like this. I don't know if you can see that. That's a cat whisker. Okay. YouTube commercials. Let's see what else we got in here. So I have whiskers from each cat. I can tell they're because Nuette's whiskers are like black usually and Cotton's are white. I also think I have cat nails. I don't think the cat nails are in here, but you know, that's a really good idea if you want. It's also, they also can be for protection. You want to have that aspect from the cat nails as well. Whiskers also do protect the cats because they're meant to help them fill the size of spaces and make sure they don't injure themselves. So, okay. So that's what I'm going to be adding for my pets, are their whiskers. After they've shed it naturally, I have not cut them off. And myself, I have my own essence. You can use a number of items for your own essence. That includes urine, blood, either like from your finger that you prick, or menstrual blood. You can use semen, hair, your own nail clippings, saliva. So those are typically things that are used. Speaking of essence, If you're curious about how to get or gather your essence as terms of menstrual blood, it's actually quite simple. You just take it out of a menstrual pad or a tampon. You let it dry out, and then you'll cut the pad and put it in water, or just take the tampon and dry out the tampon. And when you're ready to use them, after they've been dried out, you put them in a jar of water, and you let your essence will separate from the tampon or the pad, and then you'll have your menstrual blood. If you don't have your period anymore or don't want to use your menstrual blood, then you can just lance your finger or go for one of the other items. I like using blood because it is the essence of life. It's the most powerful energy. Okay, so you have 3 ways that the bottle can work. Depending on what the maker wills into the bottle usually has one of 3 jobs. 1, to capture, to mirror, or to transform. So capturing, you're going to gather the negative energies in the bottle and capture them there. Mirroring, you're going to send the energies back to where they came from, and it will prevent back to where they came from and or prevent them from ever arriving. And transforming, you're going to change the negative energy into a positive one. So you obviously want to get a jar that's not plastic and it's made of a natural material like glass or stone, some kind of earthenware, and you're also going to need a candle to seal the jar. Traditionally, black is used, but you can choose other colors. If you know how candle magic works, you just choose a color that's relative to what you want, depending on what you're making your jar do. And then as far as your liquids go, like I said, you can use urine, wine, you can use apple cider vinegar, you can also use salt water to fill the bottle. That would be the liquid portion. So then you have another component that some people might refer to them as nasties that you put in a bottle. That would be things like your nails, preferably rusted, your barbed wire, thorns, needles, pieces of glass, and or a mirror and eggs. And that's going to be the things that help attack the negative energies or reflect them or dissolve them. So a suitable time to do this would be during the waning moon, and the ritual can consist of visualization of the bottle's intended use. The thought behind all this is instead of having the negative energies hitting you, they're going to hit your representative in the bottle. That's your essence of self. And while the capturing, transformative powers or mirroring powers are taking place, mirroring preventative powers are taking place. And the nasties are intended to capture the negative energies. So the metals, let me turn that down a little bit. A little loud. Okay, so the metal, which in this case would be the nails, they capture an iron. They capture the negative energy. The glass confuses it, cuts them. The metal also grounds the negative energy. Glass also grounds the negative energy. This is all, like I said, it's all depending on what you want to do. This is like, if it was a capturing bottle, just for capturing, then the metal would capture it. The glass would confuse it and cut it. The thorns or whatever other nasties you put in there would puncture it. The egg would dissolve it. You can visualize negative energies drowning in the urine or the other liquid that you choose. If it's one that is mirroring or preventing, obviously the metal perhaps would still capture, but then also ground, and the glass would ground as well. Or just reflect out and through the powers of earth ground the negative energies. Okay. Again, you can still visualize the liquid. The energy is drowning in the liquid. That can just be a measure of, you know, weakening those energies before they're being grounded by the other items in the jar, like the glass and the metal. You can also have the glass mirror the negative energy back to sender. If there are particular, maybe psychic vampires that you're creating this bottle to protect you against, or you just come in contact with a lot of psychic vampires. Transforming bottle, you can use a colored glass and visualize the negative energy transforming into a positive one before continuing on to its journey forwards to benefit you, your home, or the universe. Okay. Note that if you're going to use an egg, you obviously want to add that at the end after you've added everything and shaken it all up, because you don't want to break the egg. And then you would add your seal in the candle. When you have your seal and the candle wax, you can inscribe on the seal other sigils or runes without breaking the seal. If you were to break the seal by doing that, then you'd have to start the sealing process all over again. Obviously, you can say a little chant or prayer for each item that you're putting in the jar, or when you're burying it, a banishing prayer, or like I said, if you're just keeping it away, you could say a prayer just specific to whatever it is you're doing and whatever you want each item to do. So there are other options. Typically, Wiccans use herbs in their witches bottles, so you would choose your herbs according to the properties and those properties that you want in the bottle. There are traditional herbs that Wiccans use. You can just do some research and find those out. You can also use crystals. Now, you can select the items and the herbs two different ways. You can select them by number, so have a specific number of each item. Like I might choose all of the herbs, crystals in 3s or in 9s, or you can just have a specific number of items equaling one full number. So I might have a number of 9 items that I want to put in a jar, or a number of 7 items that I want to put in a jar, a number of 3 items that I want to put in a jar, just depending on the numerology and what energy you're trying to invoke through those number of items. Okay. Another thing that's commonly used in Wiccan spell as well is thread. So you can tie some thread into a knot and also put that into the jar, and the thread would bend the negative energies away from the builder of the bottle, and perhaps get the negative energies like caught up in the knot. Essential oils can also be used if you're going to use those, and also using numerology, then you would count the essential oils as a solid. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to get started. Oh great, I'm only 23 minutes in. So I'm not going to do my full bottle on the camera here. I don't think so. That video will be way too long, and I kind of want to just really take my time in making this. So, but I will show you what I plan to use. Like I said, this is the bottle, and I am using some of the traditional herbs. I have pine needles here that I collected on, what's it, Mabon this year. I have some rusted nails. I tend to, when I pull nails out the wall, I tend to actually not throw them away and save them, but not for this purpose. It just happens that I just do that, and I was going to make the bottle, and I said, wait, I have all these nails that are slightly rusted because I have a habit of doing that. I am doing numerology, so I'm choosing 9 items, 9 being a protective number. I'm using nails, I'm using pine needles, so that's 2 items. I'm also using rosemary, 3 items. 3rd item. 4th item is mistletoe. The 5th item I'm using is rue. The 6th item I'm using is black salt. The 7th item I'm using is cayenne pepper. The 8th item I'm using is lavender because I want to add these calming energies as well. My bottle is going to be a mirroring bottle that also prevents. And the 9th item I'm using is glass. And how I'm getting the glass, basically, obviously if you break something in your house, save it. You can save that and use it in Mojo bags and things like witches bottles. In my case, what I did was I got a jar from a 7-day candle and a hammer, put the jar inside of a garbage bag and just give it a really good whack with the hammer, break the glass, and it stays contained in that bag. And then you want to also have a glove, which I have here for when you're going to pick those items out, because you want to be careful not to cut yourself. So that's what I have now, and it's that energy from breaking the glass and using a hammer to break the glass is also in the glass now, which was pretty powerful, me being the one wielding the hammer. But I do have that here, some glass. Okay, so my option that I'm using to fill my bottle is going to be wine. I like the color and how it looks, and you know, it does, wine has those antiseptic properties, and you know, it's also given as offering. And because it has an antiseptic property, it also has, is the alcohol in it, it also has a protective property. So it's kind of like the same idea behind the vinegar and the salt, but I'm also going to have the black salt in my bottle as well. So another theory behind the salt is that it purifies the representative of self inside the bottle for many of the negative energies. So it would purify and bless the target. So, and that's, once my bottle is complete, like I said, I plan to adorn it with another protective item, enchant over the bottle. I also, some other options you can choose are to add things to the bottle. Like if maybe this is a mirroring and a protective bottle to keep the negative away, perhaps if you have something from your job that you might want to adorn the bottle with, you can do that as well. If you want to keep those energies away from you and like away from your job, as you know, your livelihood as well, you can add those essences to the bottle or adorn the bottle with them. So that's just a couple ideas. I hope this video was useful for you guys, and you know, feel free, try it out. Share your videos or your comments with me about the witches bottles that you have made or would like to make. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Blessed be.